What's up everyone, Maki here with an all new type of video. Today we're going to be trying out a series I'm going to call Check It Out or something along those lines, or Checking Out. I don't really know what I'm actually going to call it in this time of this making of the video, but it'll be in the title and everything like that when I end up figuring it out. But basically, before I do a review or any sort of extended kind of content on any sort of game, I always do a small play session. So basically this series is going to be that play session. It's going to be a very much first person or first impression sort of single take thing. So it's going to have a lot of screw ups and things like that. So get used to it. We're going to go ahead and try it out. Now this was a terrible game to try it out on because I think it was called Tap Heroes or something along those lines. And it doesn't actually have a title screen. It just started going. And apparently I died, I think. So I don't know. Anyways, we're going to be giving every game a few minutes, well, I think 15 to 20 minutes or something like that, to try and see whether it's actually worth checking out. Now this game, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer because it already started minutes ago. And I'm like, all right, I have to set up my recording. I just clicked on the game to actually set it so it would capture the window. And there we go. It just started going. And first off the bat, this game, it looks blurry as hell and the mouse lags and it has this weird sort of cursor thing. I think I can turn that off though, because I went into the options to see if there was a resolution option. I can turn the tap finger off. So there we go. I can also turn off screen shake. I'm going to do that because I kind of have a migraine today. So we're going to go ahead and do that so I don't have the screen shaking on me and just kind of making my vision blurred. So I'm trying to figure out what this is. I think it is supposed to be something along the lines of you're a hero and it's a tapping game. So I can tap to attack and then I can tap to heal my little guy. Apparently my health bar is up at the top. So that seems pretty basic. And then I'm able to kind of help him kill things. I think I'm supposed to click on this arrow. Your hero proceeds to the next area. Cool. Now we're in the next area. Oh, you know what? I actually kind of like that idea. There's a lot of sort of idle games, and this is obviously one of them. This is the same people that made Plantera. I found out right before I started recording, because I actually looked at the store page. I'm like, what is this? Because I deemed the review code for like ever ago. I just never ended up actually checking it out, which happens quite often. Actually, there's quite a few that I'll end up checking out, but area completed. Okay, so we just basically beat each area and then it ends up unlocking a new thing and then we're able to fight. Now there is this heroes tab and it is kind of telling me to click on there. So I guess I'm able to upgrade stuff, increase attack and heal by 25%. Does that cost a certain currency? Yes. So one thing I did also want to mention is that I looked at the forums real quick because I always do this sort of thing. What I do is I check the store page and then I check the forums, and on the forums there is a free version of the game. And so basically the free version is a flash game and it has microtransactions in it. However, this one is a paid for Steam version of the game and doesn't have microtransactions. So if you're looking for microtransactions, you can try out the free version or just want to end up trying out the game. Oh, and I died. What happens when I die? Does it just like, oh, resets the battles? Okay. I get it. So we're basically supposed to go through 10 enemies without actually having to worry about whatever. Am I able to... Oh, powers. Okay, there we go. So now I can actually increase my clicking power, I think. I think that's what that's going to do. Maybe. Maybe it increases his power? I don't know. He's hitting a lot. Oh, no, it does increase mine. So I can attack higher damages by increasing this number. Okay, cool. So this is a fairly basic game, I think. And now we're done with this area. So now we can just go to the other one. What's this extra shop? Okay, familiar. Summon a pet to fight at your side. Earn 2 times the amount of coins with a banker. Rest heroes to fully restore health in between areas. My guy's dying, so I can end up clicking on him. Am I able to increase that? Let's go ahead and heal, like increase my heal so I can actually heal him quicker. I like that concept. That concept's actually kind of fun. And I kind of like that it's just always going. It just adds always something to go. So it's got some benefits already. However, I will mention that the game looks blurry as hell and I hate it because it's like full screen right now so I can capture it properly and it's just ugly. So hopefully I'm just missing an option there. Is there any setting here? Because yeah, see the guys that made Plantera, they're advertising their game on this one. Yeah, I don't see anything. I can turn off full screen, but that's going to screw up my capture, so we're not going to do that. Let me go ahead and increase my heal, I guess, again, and I can go to my hero and increase... Oh, I can increase his health, too. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, and I can add crit rate, which I really don't like crits in these games because it's just like kind of random, and I like to have more of a constant sort of thing that can end up going. Let's go ahead and go to the other. What was the other one? In rest between areas, and then health potion. 5 health potions? Okay, so I guess there's health potions. I assume this is probably something that probably heals you, like as soon as you get low. Oh, there's achievements and stuff like that. Hold on, let's heal my guy first. There we go. So this is actually kind of interesting, though, because I'm able to kind of just do other things while this guy is just kind of fighting for me. This kind of reminds me of, man, what was it called? I don't know. There was this other kind of idle game to where you had like this little squad. It looked terrible and it played terrible, but it had a really interesting idea to where you're kind of like building up a party, and then the different characters that you put in different areas would actually have different stats and bonuses, which is actually pretty cool. The game was terrible and it sucked, and so I never actually made any content on it because it just did not reach my quality standard. But yeah, so anyways, next area. we're going to leave him. Oh, it's a tree boss. All right, well, we're looking at achievements in a minute. Let's click. Oh, no, I got to heal my guy. There we go. So you're basically trying to kind of switch in between the characters so you're able to heal and then kind of attack at the same time. So that's kind of cool. I think if I did a review of this game, it probably wouldn't be very long. Oh, no. There we go. We got a thing. Sail. Recruit a mage with healing powers. Should I do that, or is there something else I can do? Let's see. So I think the familiar is just going to summon someone random, but I kind of like the idea of summoning other. So there we go. We actually get other guys as well. So now we can have our guy automatically being healed by this other guy. Am I able to increase him? I am. Okay. This is starting to get a little bit more interesting. I kind of like that idea. There's not much gameplay here aside from switching out, so it's mostly coming down to just being sort of like a management game, which I think I'm okay with that. That's how Plantera was as well. It was more of a management game rather than an actual just like idle game. It was more of just trying to kind of do other stuff. I actually did a review of that one. If you want to check it out, it'll be in the end slate or whatever. So yeah, if you're interested in that game, there is a review of it available. Let's go ahead and check out the achievements. So beat 100 enemies. I do not like how when I go over something, it shows it up in the top right. That is obnoxious. That is super, super obnoxious. But regardless, is there something that I'm missing there? Am I able to drag it down? I don't think so. That is annoying, but basically I can do different things and get different rewards. So if I go to defeat 1,000 enemies, I will get 60 gold or 60 coins. That doesn't seem like a lot. And then basically defeat 100 enemies, defeat 10,000. Okay, so those are basically the same, and then you got to use these arrows. Also, this is on PC. Even in a Flash game, I would like to be able to scroll through these menus, guys. Come on. Tap 1,000 times. Oh, fucking yeah, let's do it. No, my finger already hurts. I actually have a giant cut on my fingers right now. Like, I have cuts all over my hand, and so basically it's really hard to use a mouse, so I'm not going to be clicking all too much, which, once again, selecting a game called Tap Heroes was probably a bad idea for this. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what else we got. Find chests, cast 5 powers. Ooh, what are powers? Oh, wait, no, these are powers. Wait, no, these are powers. Ooh, how do we get powers? Do we got to progress a certain amount or something like that? Oh, yeah, we can go to the next area. Whoops. Now we're in a different area. Okay, cool. I kind of like the idea that it's also like a stage thing. I'm actually liking this a lot more than I thought I would. Visually, it's kind of obnoxious, though. Like, the screen shake, though, like, if I turn that back on, like, that is annoying. The screen shake and everything, I hate that. So that is definitely going off. But regardless, this game also added in Cloud Sync or something like that as well, which is kind of interesting. I'm afraid, because right now this is obviously a really, really good sort of look at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this looks awesome. But at the same time, I'm seeing cases to where this could end up kind of falling into the point. Ooh, chance to double heal. Sure, whatever. Anyways, I see a kind of sense of this game would end up just kind of becoming more and more the same and kind of loses its sort of traction very, very quickly, which is what Plantera actually had a problem with as well. It was very much an experience that you would run out of content through the duration of my review. It was about 15 minutes, and I was like, oh, now I've unlocked everything, and there really wasn't anything else to do. And so I have a feeling that this game might end up falling into that. It seems like it might have a little bit more depth just because it is the whole RPG building numbers thing. And I can see myself already sort of getting bored. I'm like, all right, cool, I can click on things. And there's not really a way to track certain abilities either. And so that seems, or maybe there is and I'm missing it, but that seems like something I would also do a complaint about. Ooh, there we go. We got a blue thing. I don't like the fact that these blue things are so rare. I think there should be like more of a sort of, well, I guess there is a guaranteed way to do it. Oh, there's stats. Ah, sweet. Yeah, I would really love to be able to scroll this. Even though it's a very small section on the bottom of the screen, I would love to be able to scroll it. Now, if I go into window, this window is absolutely minuscule. I can probably do it later if I can set up my capture to do it properly. But yeah, but anyways, I guess, oh, sweet, we got a thingy. Cool. Random chests and stuff like that. I guess the random elements is something that people like in these types of games. I don't know. I find these more as like a management sort of thing to where you're trying to min-max things as you go. And I really enjoyed in some kind of like idle games to where you can end up just kind of maximizing strategies to try and get certain things better or whatever. So it'd be like, oh, well, I want to get to, like, let's say Cookie Clicker or something like that, trying to get to a certain level of quality or whatever in your cookies at a certain time limit or something like that. I thought that was a really interesting idea. There was actually one RPG that I'm going to be doing a video on in the future. I'll be like talking about a game like that to where it's a single screen RPG. I thought it was really, really cool. But regardless, as you can see, this series is mostly just me kind of screwing around with the game for a little bit and mostly kind of just a let's play sort of thing at the same time. So I apologize for that if this isn't exactly what you were thinking it was going to be. But regardless, I think this game is actually kind of interesting. It's a lot more in-depth than I thought it was going to be. But at the same time, I could see where it would run out of depth very, very quickly. And I'm already running into sort of a grinding wall. Like, I don't know. I'm not really seeing a lot of progress now. Like when we started off, it was like, oh, cool, this. And I get that from just trying to show you the game. But now I can literally just sit here and let the game run for the next 5 minutes that I'm going to give it. And then it'll just be like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine, which is sort of annoying. And I guess you're supposed to tap and stuff like that. I guess I could like click up and do like an auto clicker or something like that because I'm a cheater. Ha ha ha. Regardless, I can end up setting up something like that to make it go a little bit quicker. But that is one thing that's a problem with these sort of idle games is like it is just grinding for the most part. And one thing I did enjoy about a few of them is sort of going around and trying to figure out, you know, different sort of strategies like that one I was talking about to where you were able to set up different parties and stuff like that. That'd be interesting. This thing to where you're able to summon different familiars, I kind of think that's a cool idea because you can be like, oh, well, I want to see what else I can end up finding. I kind of want to get to a point to where we can end up getting another one, but I don't know if we're actually going to run into that amount of time. I don't know if there's extra familiars or not. Summon a pet to fight at your side. Like, we need 5 to be able to get that, and we only have 1 at the moment. It doesn't seem like we're going to get one soon either, which is a bit disappointing. Let's see. What else? Doesn't really show the rewards unless we hover over it either. So what was our reward for tapping? 45. Oh, that's collect gold. Where's the tapping one? I don't know, if we kill 10,000 enemies, we'll get one. Woo, that's pretty far away, actually. So yeah, I can already see the progression is kind of slowing down quite a lot, which is a bit unfortunate because I would really, really like this game to evolve. One thing that was really, really good about, like, let's say Cookie Clicker, for example, is the entire time you were playing it, there were small things kind of getting more and more changed. And if you haven't played through Cookie Clicker, waste a day away and play it. Just kind of like leave it idle or something like that and just kind of like go into it and click and stuff like that because it gets more and more twisted and demented as you go along. And it was really, really cool because like every single time you would upgrade something little tiny and minuscule would end up changing and it would slowly get worse and worse as you were going along, which made it kind of interesting, actually. It made it really, really fun. So that was something I actually liked about that one. Cookie Clicker was actually a good game, which is very strange. It's an idle game to where you're literally just tapping on a cookie and that's all of you're doing. But at the same time, it could end up being interesting in a lot of different ways just because of how much they sort of changed up the way things were. They like had a whole narrative that they kind of went into and it was all weird and twisted. You never knew exactly what to expect. It started off as like, I'm clicking on a cookie and it's funny. And then it's like, I don't know if this is funny anymore. It's pretty great. I don't know. You can look up videos and stuff like that of that later if you're interested. Man, I'm actually kind of getting bored of this game now. It started off so good, but now we're on a boss. Yay! So this is the problem with these sorts of games. Is you run into a situation where at first you're like, oh, this is really, really cool, and I kind of like this idea, and now I'm already at a point to where I'm like, don't really care. Couldn't care less. Oh, we better heal our guy before he dies. I do like this idea, though. If you do like these sort of idle tapping games, I think this is actually a really cool concept. Just kind of like the idea of having a little hero. I wonder if we can change the way he looks or if we can change him, because it says warrior here. And then we also have a mage guy. But like, I wonder if we're able to get different guys than the warrior, or maybe we're able to kind of customize him. It seems like we're able to upgrade him, but I don't know if that actually changes the visual style of it. Because that's one of the draws, I think, to these sorts of games, is just kind of like seeing where it would end up going. After a while, you're just kind of like, oh, well, what if I end up progressing enough to get this or whatever? Will it end up having something else? We can get a rogue. Let's get a rogue. Now we have a full party. Yay. Okay, so I think this is how the entire party goes. So we have their 3 slots here. So I think we've unlocked all the characters that we can, and it's been 13 minutes, I think is when I started the timer. Technically, it's been about 16 because it sat there idle for a little bit because I had to set up my recording. But regardless, what does a rogue do? He got stun? Oh, so he's able to stun people. And then he speed, rogue speed. Let's bring up his speed and then bring up his stun. And potency? Oh, okay, so he does poison damage. Okay, cool. And the poison, that's going to be the damage inflicted by the poison. Let's go ahead and upgrade him because he's really, really cheap to upgrade right now. And we have tons of money because I've just been sitting here chatting, so. He seems like one of those characters that will probably want to end up upgrading everything. Stun power, 5 CS. Is there like a CS stat somewhere? Am I missing something? I guess the warrior also determines our health. I wonder if he dies if the other characters end up getting hit or not. I don't know if we're going to be able to test that because we got a minute and basically I'm done with this, but this seems like something I'd actually end up checking out a little bit more. Maybe not doing a full video on it or something like that. We might play it in the background or something. I don't know. Doesn't seem like something... It seems like we've seen all there is to see for the most part, except for maybe some different backgrounds and stuff like that. It seems like it's pretty much limited on what we've got so far, which seems to be unfortunate. I don't know. I like the idea that we just got a rogue. I'm curious to find out if there is more characters, but at the same time, I'm bored of the gameplay. The gameplay is not capturing me the way it is, but it is a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be, which is kind of positive to say a lot of these, because most of the time I end up looking at something and be like, that has potential, and then just being very disappointed with it, which is very unfortunate, especially when you get like 100 games or something like that, and it's like, all right, well, I gotta check out all these, and then basically they all end up sucking. Also, I tapped enough times to get something. Does it just give it to us? I guess it just gives it to us, doesn't it? Was that the tapping one? Nope. That was the tapping one. Yeah, so it just gives it to us. Okay, cool. So I think that's it. Yeah, that seems to be what the game is. So basically that was 15 minutes that I was giving up this game. Tap Heroes, by the way. I think that's the name of it. If I'm wrong, then I apologize. There's literally no... It doesn't say the name of the game anywhere. Anyways, that's going to be this one. So this game's somewhat interesting. This has been Checking Out Tap Heroes or something. I swear, if it's not Tap Heroes, I'm going to be very upset with myself. But anyways, it seems fairly interesting. I don't know if I'll end up doing anything else on this, but it is kind of an interesting concept. So I might end up checking out in the future. I might not. It seems like something that I'm just kind of bored of it on. I don't know. Maybe if I'm like really, really, really bored, or maybe there's just like something that I'm doing like a topic video on something like a clicker or something like that, then I might check it out. But critically side, I already see it kind of running out of depth, and it does have more slots on the powers, and so I'm curious if we end up getting more abilities as we go along. Maybe it has to do with this extra slots. Maybe it's the familiars, but unfortunately I'm not able to actually check that out at this moment. So I guess there's content that I'm not seeing, and there's obviously going to be different backgrounds, but for the most part, this has been all right. But anyways, let's go ahead and end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this one. You can also check out my impressions reviews, which is my primary video type. And basically, that's where I actually do full reviews. So if you're looking for somebody that actually has in-depth knowledge of the game and wants to, tell you all the mechanics and everything like that, you can end up checking out that series. The most recent one I did was called Alwa's Awakening, which was a retro-inspired puzzle platformer, and it actually does a fairly good job at it. It's not a game I ended up recommending to everyone. It's kind of cautionary, but at the same time, it's worth a check out because it's actually fairly decent. It's a retro platformer that actually understands why people like retro platformers. Another platformer that I ended up checking out that is not retro was Ori and the Blind Forest. So if you're looking for platformers, I've been checking out a lot of them recently, so go ahead and look at my impressions playlist. Otherwise, you can also check out my Let's Play stuff. If you kind of like the mixture of the critical stuff and stuff like that, go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me how it is. Also, what do you think of Tap Heroes? Is it worth checking out? Is it not? And maybe end up checking out yourself. There is a free version as well. I don't know where to find it, and I won't be linking it. I'll be linking the Steam one since that's the version that I'm looking at, and so I don't want to promote like a wrong Flash version or something like that. But regardless, you can end up finding the free version to kind of try it out yourself if you think the concept is interesting, and it's just been running in the background. So there you go. It's an interesting concept, and I think that I would probably play this in window because it looks ugly when it is full screen. Oh god. Anyways, thank you guys once again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.